One.
There you go. What's up, world? What's up, boxing live episode? I guess quarantine five, as we said. Um, this is nice putting shows back together, back to back. Where for a while we didn't do shit, but I mean there ain't nothing really going on. So we're just talking about the sport we love, and make sure you're following Real Talk Boxing on all social media. They say you can't find it. Google us. We're everywhere. You see that logo pop up once you Google us. It's not hard to find us. I'm one of your hosts, Robert Reyes. You can follow me at King2309. It's everything: Snapchat, Instagram. Well, now I switched from Xbox to PlayStation there too, but
That's a very wise choice.
introduce my bro.
So with it, man. My name's Chris. My good friends call you Main. That's MAIN. And here we are, episode 5, quarantine. We're doing it. It feels good to be back in the groove, back in the whole system, everything going back to back shows. So we're here again. Let's do it.
My name is Jay. My good friends call me J Man. No, Jay Martinez here. Episode 5. I'm glad we get to do this back to back. I'm really excited, and it gets exciting to do this with y'all, Chris and Robert. I think I've seen y'all more in the past month than the whole last year.
That's why it's easier. It's easier to work like this because you just set a time aside, just go somewhere and do the show. Go back to whatever you're doing afterwards. Before it makes the things a lot easier. Completely different thing than just sitting here, record on the phone, or it gives it a whole different atmosphere. It's give you 2 views too. You can see it on YouTube and Facebook like right now, or you can download on the podcast. Again, you can download the podcast anywhere, Spotify, iTunes, wherever.
And should we just talk about our guest who's going to come in a couple of minutes? It's Coach. I'll go ahead and let you do it, Robert. I'll go ahead and let you do it.
No, go ahead, because you work with him all the time. You see him all the time.
Well, here he is, and we're going to give an introduction to Coach Knuckles, who is the father of Listo Gaitan. He is the father of Chuco Gaitan. He's also a trainer. He's also a comedian. He thinks he's a comedian. And no, we'll just give a round of applause to Coach Knuckles, who is in here, who's also going to be raffling some Listo shirts. Coach Knuckles, how you doing today, Coach?
Well, first of all, I want to thank you guys for giving me, a chance to interview live, for Nuestra Gente while we're on lockdown, So, I've been through this before, so.
Explain a little bit more.
Well, I was on some forced vacations before, so.
So right off the bat, let me go ahead and get started because there's a lot of people tuning into this to the show. We're on Facebook Live through Real Talk Boxing, as well on YouTube Live through Real Talk Boxing. We got a couple of people tuning in. I want to go ahead and just ask you real quick, Coach. I know I talked to you almost every day before, obviously, this quarantine. I'm with you almost throughout the week. I think I'm with you more than with my wife because we're always at the gym and at boxing events. But, Coach.
People going to think something, boy.
It's all right. It's all right. It's all speculation.
It's just a joke, people. Don't listen to
them. So I wanted to go ahead and ask you right now. Obviously, we're on lockdown. We couldn't go to the gym. I texted you a couple of weeks ago if I could come over, and you were kind of let's just wait how all this is handling. Your son, who's obviously a professional fighter under Garcia Promotions, how are you keeping your son, Listo Gaitan? How are you keeping him active, and as well, how are you keeping him motivated? Because remember, there was supposed to be a show here in April, and then there's supposed to be another one at the end of the May. So what are you doing with him at home right now?
Actually, it's kind of I guess God answers my questions in mysterious ways, because it actually worked out for us because of his therapy he's been getting because of his back. He's been doing great. We've been training. He's been running. We went back to my boxing Bible, and boy, they're saying he's at 80% right now. But damn, them power shots, they're up there, man. It feels good to feel that kind of speed and power from both Listo and Chuco, And I'm just focusing on them right now, on my 3 boys.
And also, you're also before we move in, Francisco Seriano also posted something about the famous Tank versus Ryan post that kind of did blow up. You had about what, over 1,000 shares, about
No,
500.
20, about over 1,000 likes, about 3,000 comments, and about over 20,000 shares.
So how did that happen? Because all of a sudden you just wanted to. How did that happen? What kind of like got you started? How'd you get that information? And could you probably let us know a little bit about that?
Man, if I tell you, I'm gonna have to beat the shit out of you. You know what I'm saying? I can't say the other thing because I put myself in a bad situation. No, I'm just kidding. I get some info. People send me info, and it feels good. People think that I'm bullshit when I say it, but it feels good. To get some inside information. And then when I said that, people were, now they're saying first they were saying it was going to be in the summer. Right after I posted that, they said it was going to be in the summer. But now with this coming down, with the coronavirus, now they're saying it probably is going to be in December. But it's crazy. All the news that that I get, it's kind of crazy. Like, I mean, it's the hype right now in boxing is ridiculous. With Ryan and Davis and Haney and Lomachenko and Teofimo and Andre Rees. It's crazy, man. Boxing is crazy right now, man.
Go on, Chris. I know you're about to ask something. Go ahead, Chris.
No, for those that didn't get the post, what did you post about Tank and Ryan?
I actually got, it was kind of I always kind of bullshit on it, but I threw it in there and I posted that late, breaking news. Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis is in the works for December. And as soon as I posted that, it was right before the Golden Gloves. I was training for the Golden Gloves. I was training my amateur team for the Golden Gloves, and my wife is like, "Did you see the post?" And then I was like, "About Ryan Garcia," and I was like. She was like, yes. And I looked at it and already, about 6-7 hours later, it was at like 6,000 shares already, and it was like, I was like, what? And I kept talking shit. Like, if it hits 10,000, I was going to post, if it hits 10,000, I would shave my mustache and my beard. But then I saw it like later on, and it was like at 12,000. I like, man, I'm glad I didn't post that, But and people still, I've sent some props to everybody on that show, because it went kind of viral, So I put Real Talk Boxing. I mentioned Lisa Perez from Global Fight Talk, Christine, everybody, that was been showing us love, like. Texas MMA Roundup, I was posting about everybody. I was tagging everybody in that post. To give recognition on that post that went viral, Well, I don't know if it went viral, but it was up there, It's still, people are still commenting on it, and I appreciate it.
So who do you got for that fight? Who's winning?
I think Ryan Garcia, man, with boxing coach of the year last year, Reynoso, and the mentor that he has as Canelo. I mean, I think they're and I know Ryan's been sparring Canelo a little bit, not full blast, but he's been getting some work with Canelo. And I mean, in my opinion, Canelo is pound for pound right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You think since Ryan hasn't been really touched at all yet, you think that he can handle that power from Tank?
Well, I mean, I think Ryan has been tested a little more than Tank Davis has. I mean, what do you guys think? Am I right or am I wrong?
Can you say? Would you say who's got tested a little bit more, Ryan Garcia or Tank Davis?
Yes, Ryan Garcia.
I mean, I personally think it's kind of been more even. I personally think it's been more, and it's too early. I feel like it's just too early to really say who's been tested more, just because the most recent fight that Tank Davis had wasn't against Gamboa, and still that kind of troubled Tank Davis. But I think that's like another stepping stone to show that Tank Davis is is going to slowly progress to get where he needs to be at. So I don't think we've seen both of them in their full potential. So I really can't say either or. But I do agree with what you're saying about Ryan Davis.
Ryan Garcia was supposed to get tested on his last couple of fights.
They hit it kind of quick.
And I mean, that hook, if you look, he threw that hook like 4 times. So he had been working on that hook. And when he caught that dude, he knocked his ass out. So, I mean, I think the work that he's been getting in, I mean, he's focusing on working, and whatever they're whatever they're mentoring or telling him in the corner to do, he's going out there and doing it and looking for it. You know, I mean, I know he gets a little wild. He has his hands down, but nobody's ever going to fight like a robot, with both of their hands right here the whole time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The shot lands from where it lands sometimes. And if you can hurt the person. And I think that's what he did. He did it 2 or 3 times and finally landed it and knocked the dude out. That was supposed to be one of his biggest tests.
Well, you as a trainer, and say if you're training Tank Davis to go into this fight, wouldn't you tell Tank to watch out for the hand? And wouldn't y'all practice that?
If I was training Tank Davis, I'd go in there and tell him, hey, put your hands down. And go in there. He don't like the guy. I don't like the guy. He's just. I just can't stand guys with that kind of attitude. It's just me.
But if you put that aside and you do train him, would you just he loaded up for that one punch? Like you said last fight, he tried to land a couple times, didn't land it. Then finally he landed. So wouldn't you train your fighter to just avoid that or move the opposite way to avoid that one punch he's looking for?
Well, I mean, he didn't even, as what I'm saying is he didn't even have the chance to go back to the corner and get some kind of info or, for them to change the game plan. He didn't get that chance. And his last 2 opponents had that chance. They got knocked out pretty quick. So, I mean, it's like, what are you really – you got to study the guy and see what he's done for his past 4 or 5 fights maybe, But, I don't know how they train, but if you look at what he's doing, it's I don't know what Canelo does. It's kind of crazy what he does, I like the way he works his combinations, how he sets up, and it's some of the old things that you haven't seen in a while,
Let me ask you something, Coach, and I want you to be very honest with me on this. Why do you think people say, and let's just not think about the ignorance that sometimes people have when they make comments like this? Do you actually think that boxers are scared of other boxers? I personally think that is not true, just because a boxer's mentality has been trained all their life to go in there and to fight fight as much as they can and to be in survival mode, because I'm sure they have engraved in them since the amateurs, hey man, this guy's gonna come and hurt you, hey, this guy's gonna come and kill you. So when you go to the pro levels, yes, when Triple G's facing Canelo, everyone's like, oh, Canelo's scared. It means he's going up on weight, but it's just kind of like he was kind of hectic. Like, I know he's gonna be more powerful than me, but I don't think any boxer's scared. Why do you think people say that, and do you actually think boxers get scared?
Well, I think right now it's more on the, politics, their trainers, their promoters, the channels, PBC, Showtime. And, I think it's more on that than, they're trying to get their money worth out of the fighter, man. That's my opinion. I don't know if I'm right. I know everybody has a different opinion. Scared, I don't think a boxer's scared, but maybe nervous. They are avoiding fighters. They're probably trying to get the most money before, keeping that, zero. They want that zero, and keep getting that paycheck. I think that's most of what it is, because you got all these guys calling each other out. You got, Crawford. He's moving up, trying to fight Charlo. That's what I heard. That he's trying to fight at 160. And he don't care about Spence, or he don't care about Thurman no more. Earl Spence says now he don't care about Thurman and he wants to fight Crawford, So I don't know. It's just, I think as you get up there where you're making that kind of money, you kind of do what you want, and you can keep your zero if you want, or that one loss, and you don't want no blemish on your record no more.
Let's go back to your son. Let's go to another lane about this. We had one of the people that are tuning in. He said, "Can we set up that rematch for Listo? That was not a draw." So let's go talk a little bit more about Listo. The last fight prior to this one, it was a draw, and obviously not majority of people agreed with it. Maybe people were saying that they would give the guy maybe max 2 rounds,
I
but
gave him two rounds. Honestly, I gave
yeah,
him 2 rounds.
yeah, and we talked about that right after the fight. So would there be a possibility before the end of the year for him to get that rematch fight?
I mean, well, I asked him for the rematch right away, and they said no. And the truth, uh, we were trying to get him for his last fight, and like I said before he got hurt, we were trying to get him for that fight, but they wanted us to go down and fight him in Austin. And I was like, are you crazy? We're selling out the shows over here. What the hell makes you think we're gonna fight you in Austin? You know. So Seferino said the same thing. He said he told him, hey, we're not, we're gonna put on a show in here in Dallas because he's the one that's selling in Dallas. Next time we ask you, you say yes the first time or it's over with. So I think I'm gonna give Listo maybe one more warm up fight before, to get that rematch because I want to see where he's at, because he's been out of it for a while, since he got hurt, that prior to that a week before the fight, that I called it off that Saturday morning when he was sparring, he kind of got stuck in the second round, and I stopped it and, I think I want to see where he's at. Like I said, they're saying he's at 80%, but damn, there's 80% he's at right now. If I was to get a stimulus check, I'd put it on Listo right after we come back, his first spar, and I'd give it to that person because I feel bad for his ass. But I ain't get one, so I can't. So, but yeah, that's how powerful he is, man. I feel bad for Hector when we get back and he has to put that bodyguard on and take him body shots because he's gonna have to feel it, man. I've been taking him twice a week, with Chuco and Listo, and man, it hurts, but I love it, So it's a love hurts, but but it feels good, man. The speed, the power, the combinations, just the things that we went back to, it feels good. I hadn't seen them in a while, and you can tell, like when I'm getting Chuco, Listo staring, and when I'm getting Listo, Chuco staring at what we're doing, and you can see that little smile on their face, like, damn, we remember when we used to do this, set this up, and it feels good, It's like everything came back, and like I said, things happen for a reason, My hands hurt, and my body hurts, but that's part of being a coach.
How's it feel having that? Go ahead, bro.
How old's Chuco?
Chuco is 19 years old.
So when is he gonna go pro?
Well, he was gonna go. He's gonna make his pro debut, which was gonna be this weekend coming up. If the fight would have stayed, if we wouldn't have gone through this, he was gonna make his pro debut April. What was it? I don't know what day it was gonna be. It was gonna be next Saturday.
Last weekend. Yeah. What weight class is he gonna fight at? What weight class is he fight at?
We're gonna see. He's walking around about 155, so I think about 140.
Okay.
See where he's at.
Also, he's a lot smaller. He's a lot smaller than Listo.
Well, I think he's about 5'9", 5'10".
Yeah, his body frame and his height he's smaller than Listo, but not tremendously. Like it's not a big difference, but he is like his body size. You just gotta like Listo's a little bit more proportioned all around than where he just looks bigger. Chuco is just a little bit shorter and not too wide compared to Listo. It's just two different body types.
He just got big shoulders. He's like a letter T. He can cover up with his shoulders pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Do you notice the difference in both of them when their I guess their technique and their style?
Right now it's Listo is a little bit more technical, but still going forward, And Chuco, he kind of gets a little crazy and likes to slug a little bit, Yeah. But his head movement, he got what I call boxing choreography is what I call it, because he got good moves and I like him to spar with music on, and I just tell him to listen to the music, move around. I think you've heard that before, profe. Where
Yeah,
I tell
yes,
him,
I have.
listen. I've been doing this for a while. Just listen and listen to the beat and move to the beat. Act like that guy that you're sparring is an instrument and touch him on a perfect note. You know what I'm saying? That's the way I do it, and it looks good. I like the way he looks, and more
And I
right
can.
now that
Mhm.
I'm working one on one with him now. It's like I like the way he's looking. His speed and his power. So
and
he's
and
looking.
and I can agree with coach, and that's one of the things being a benefit, being part the team, and always seeing what coach does with Chuko is that they're two different fighters, but what Chuko is, he's very pinpoint with his punches, with his head movement. It's kind of crazy at times when I get the opportunity, to do some shadow boxing, or we do defensive work. Like, it's really really hard to try to close him down with the jab, and he's always, you throw in the jab and you think that's going to stop Chuko, but it doesn't. He knows how to just come back with something else and try to stay away with it. So he's very technical with his movements. That I can't say that he's a little bit quicker than Listo. Both have different styles. Both are great. It's just that they're both different, and that, coach, and you know that clearly from being the father. But what can you tell me that from Listo and Chuco, what can you tell me, like, what sets you to have success? What is it that you do, something that many people don't see behind the cameras, behind this podcast, behind these interviews, everything? What do you do that people don't see, that people need to start recognizing a little bit more, or try to recognize?
I guess it's I don't know. You see, I'm real hard as a coach. I'm real old school. A lot of guys like to talk, and they go crazy and run their mouth or whatever. I do that too, but it works for me. You know what I'm saying? I'll get on it. But I roast a lot. I talk shit to the kids, and most of them, like most of them, like 80% are my nephews. So it's like, and I get on them. I see their eyes get watery, and but their victories are talking for themselves. Within a year, I got my team trophy. Carolina got her. Uh, she won and got fight of the night out of 60 fights. Canelo, he's undefeated. So, I mean, I got a good little team, and I don't know what it is about me that's working. I mean, Lito and Chuco got, I think, 130 victories, and their losses are still in the single digits, and amateurs, and I mean, it feels good. I feel proud of it. It makes me feel good. It's like I said, it's not just a logo; it's a bloodline. It feels good that people are starting to see the work. That it wasn't just Listo and Chuco weren't just a fluke. It just, he got lucky. He trained them, and they're good. That's it. Well, now I'm showing that I got some more coming up, and they're just as good.
Yeah.
So what you talking about? Training people and showing people everything. Do you treat everybody the same way? Because some people can take it, some cannot take it. So you gotta be kind of like not hard on everybody, but how does that work for you? How do you balance that out?
Actually, not too long ago, I was talking to this kid's father, and I try to calm down on how I used to train, and it kind of didn't work for me.
Mm.
The kid was too relaxed, and so me and the father talked, and he told me, hey, he says that he's getting bored, and I was like, say what? I was like, damn, and he just sent me a message right now, actually, like, I guess he's listening, and we talked. I was like, man, I guess, I was like, I guess I messed up, I was like, I tried to change my routine and it didn't work, now this kid saying that I suck as a coach, nah, he didn't say that, but you know, but I said, you know what? Now that he said this, it's not me then. I got to go back to what I've done. And why change something that's working? You know,
Working, yeah.
why
Exactly.
why fix something that's not broken?
Yeah.
Exactly. How does it feel to have like that ace up your sleeve when you know that Listo's a draw, and you know you can keep him here in Dallas? Is that a great thing to have? Obviously it's a great thing to have, but how do you feel as a coach, as a father, to have your son as a big draw as he is here in Dallas?
It's it just shows that we can't leave it to the judges. You know, we tried to do something different at that fight, and it didn't work. You know, we should have just kept doing what we were doing before. You know, we added some training that we shouldn't have, and you know, and kind of Listo brought it up and in one of our meetings, you know, and said what he wanted from his training. You know, at the end of the day, it's his call. It's he's the one fighting, but you know, we're gonna try to, you know, what we've done before has worked, so why change it? Like I said, you know, and I try to change something with an amateur, you know, and it didn't work. So it's like, why even try it? You know, why? I shouldn't have done it. We shouldn't have done it. You know, as a team, we shouldn't have done it.
Why is Listo a big draw here in Dallas?
Uh, I don't know why. To tell you the truth, I don't know why it was a draw. I don't know what the judges saw. I mean, I don't know. I can't tell you that. I don't know what the judges saw. I know what they need to go see, you know, but you know, but yeah, because I mean, you got Matador Chavez, you know, he gave, you know, even though you know he's a world champion, you know, he walked up to me and told me he gave Listo every round, you know. We have other fighters, local fighters, that said that there's no way he lost. Other people from media, and but I don't know what I don't know what the judges saw. And it's like I said, it's just he did run out a little bit out of gas. He did get caught in the last round, but he could have finished him in the third round if we would have stuck with, you know, with what we had done before. Because you know, he looked like he lost condition in the third, fourth round.
I guess let me change that. I guess draw is a bad word to say here. I guess explain how Listo is a big ticket seller here in Dallas. This is what I meant as in draw. As in,
Okay.
he brings people in. I can see
Well, you
that draw
know,
still affects you.
I don't think it's least. I think it's these looks. You know what I'm saying? I don't think. You know, no. I mean, I can't. You know, I appreciate nuestra gente. You know, it's like, I mean, we're selling tickets. We're selling out tickets. You know, in a week, we're selling out tables as soon as they tell us the price. You know, that's what put us on the map. That's why they saw. That's why Listo got signed. You know, because they saw that nuestra gente. I mean, these are hardworking people that
Yeah.
are paying ringside. I mean, we've returned general admission tickets. You know, because we've been selling out of ringside tickets. And I mean, his numbers. I mean, when they see the ticket and that money, they're like, man, how is this kid selling this much locally? And it's because, you know, we're not, our head ain't up our ass. You know what I'm saying? And we're people, we're gente, you know, and we're with nuestra gente. And if you talk to me, I talk to you. You know, it feels good. Like not last week, I was at the gas station and in Irving, and this gentleman by the name of Juan Olvendo, I think. He's on Facebook. He recognized me and walked up to me and shook my hand, you know, and I was like, you know, he goes, I got you as a friend on Facebook, you know, and I know who you are and, you know, your son. And, you know, hopefully one day I can, you know, that to me feels good,
Yeah.
you know, and people telling me, stay where you're at, you know, don't walk around like your fucking shit don't stink, you know, because there's people I'm keeping it real, man. There's people out there that I mean, it gets to their head real quick. They think I don't know what that they won't, they can walk through water, you know, and it sucks, you know, and I don't like that shit around me. You know, I like being on the ground, you know, looking at the people, hanging out with the people. You know, it feels good. It feels good that we go to, you know, events and most of the people there are there for us, you know. Like I said, I'm never going to say fans. We're nobody, you know, we're just somebody that's enjoying doing a sport that people love, that La Raza loves, that we used to have cookouts to parties, and that it was like every time there was a big ass fight on Cinco de Mayo or the 6 de Septiembre, it was, to us, it was a big deal, having that fight, that pay-per-view, that cookout, the family, friends. So that's when we're still like that.
How's the relationship with Mikey Promotions? Is it a good relationship? Y'all taking care of, and y'all doing good with them?
I got a call from Seth. Whatever, he texted me, and then he called me. I think it was a couple of weeks ago, maybe, probably. And he asked me how we were doing. He asked me about Listo, that they had talked about it, and it feels good when somebody like that tells you, like, when he calls you and tells you, if you need anything, let me know, but, we're blessed, with the guy. Listo's going to therapy. One of Hector Vasquez's old chiropractor, he's helping us out. This guy he's doing amazing work, and we trust him. And like I said, we went through him because of Hector. We found him because Hector's the one that suggested us to go with him. He went to his first few meetings with them, and he's Listo's still going to therapy, still doing therapy with them.
Does Listo still feel like he's improving? Like, does he feel like he's getting better?
Yeah, like I said, they said he's at 80%. But man, if this is 80%, I feel bad when he's at 100. I feel bad for his opponent when he gets to 100. I mean, I ain't lying. It's just his speed and power. I ain't felt that in a while.
Yeah.
So it feels good.
Why? Talk to me more. Explain to me why do you call it Nuestra Gente? I know what it means. I know what's it about. I know how this got started, Coach. But for people that are tuning in, people that want to know more about you, Coach, why is it Nuestra Gente, and why do you have so much appreciation for them?
Like I said, because when we've done, I've looked. We brought out some pictures not too long ago. Me and my wife were looking at them, and man, when we were going to these events, like the weigh-ins, the meet and greets, the media days, the people that were showing up, they were, they were packing the houses. We went to Gordos. I don't know if you were there, Profe.
Yes, I was.
That they told us they hadn't had a crowd like that in a while. Since they opened. There was people saying on Facebook posting what's going on. Why is this place packed all the way around the block? So it felt good. It felt good to feel the love from people. When we go to the club and we tell them we're gonna be there, they show up. And we were at at Sweat Bar in Deep Ellum and on a grand opening, and he told us to come down. We went there. That place was packed. We went to the Mule in Arlington, and everybody that walked in with the Listo shirts, they walked in with Listo shirts. It looked like we were fucking cheering for a soccer team, So it feels good, Nuestra Gente. They paid top dollar for the table. He didn't fight last time, on February 28th. He didn't fight, and we still sold, I think, 3 or 4 tables, VIP tables. That's the kind of love that we have from these people, from Nuestra Gente. That's why I call them Nuestra Gente, because without them, there wouldn't be no Mikey Garcia Promotions right here. I guarantee you that, I don't think they're, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But, I don't think that they would have had the interest of coming back, And like I say, he's the only one that's got signed here in Dallas. His dad was the one that saw him, El Señor Eduardo Garcia, and, I told them at the gym on Monday, that he had told me that, that there was a champion right there. And when you hear somebody of that caliber, it's like, it's an honor,
Yeah.
So when I heard that from him,
once you hear that from him, especially the world champions he's trained, You can be like, man, yeah, I got something like this is something
Yeah,
special.
I was telling people left and right, and they were looking at me like I was full of shit. But then Robert Garcia said it himself in an interview. I think you interviewed him, Profe, when he told you that.
Tell
He
me.
he interviewed him, and Robert Garcia said I wasn't there, but my father told me, to call him up, and we talked, and that's how when he called me a couple of times, wanted to set up a meeting, a conference call. I told Hector, they called me and they wanna talk about signing Listo. Let's have a conference call with them.
Did you feel like that added any more pressure to you, Coach? To put a more, I guess, I don't want to say like this, but like more of a show for the people and more entertaining. Do you feel like, okay, now I have to, tighten up the bolts, tighten up the screws, because now we have expectations? Do you feel like that happened?
No. I think it was a blessing. Because we were selling out shows before we got to Garcia. So it was our people, nuestra gente, that got us to this point, that showed up for us at this fight. And, they saw also his talent, in the ring, to hear it from, bringing the guy out to sing with us, little Miguelón Martinez, bringing that, our culture, our roots, that Azteca blood that we have, into the ring. I think that's lost. Anybody can put on a damn charro hat or a mariachi hat or a cowboy hat, but if you don't have it, Mexican people are going to criticize you. The Mexican people are real. They're fucking, hey, that's pendejo, way. You can't wear that shit. You know what I'm saying? They'll criticize you for fucking being as dark as me and not talking fucking Spanish. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's the truth. So, if you listen to my boy speaking Spanish, we're Mexican, even though that me and my wife were born in Cali, our roots, bilingual, we're never going to leave that. I love I love that Mexican music. I like mariachi. I like the rancheras, that's my music. I love it. I grew up listening to it because of my dad.
So moving forward, what's the plan for Listo once he's 100%? What do you want to do within the next couple of fights, or what do you want to do? What's the plan?
Well, as soon as we talk, like I said, as soon as we talk again, as soon as we get back to the gym, I want him to have a fight for some kind of title. Like I said, I want a warm up fight for him. I mean, it doesn't have to be. It can be, a good little fight for him, a little test to see where he's at, because, it's been a while since he's been in the ring. He hadn't sparred since, February 20th, I believe. So, that's a long time, and just working mids. And then anybody can look good on the mids and on the heavy bag. That ain't nothing, till you go out there and, start hitting, and getting hit. That's when you really, I don't give a damn about posting no videos with the mids or heavy bag, Once you start sparring, and you see who wants to spar and who don't want to spar, then you'll know why, we're the real deal. And our plans are to move up, Hopefully we can get 2 fights in, maybe 3, here in the end of the year, after this is all said and done. Hopefully, I'm praying to God that it's over with pretty soon, because it does suck.
Yeah.
I remember we talked to you a while back. Sparring was hard to get. How's sparring now to get?
Well, I mean,
Still tough?
I mean, we went to Waco and we got great sparring over there for this fight. And that's before, he injured himself, He went, I believe, 10 rounds with 4 different guys and dominated all of them, We drove all the way down there, and I mean, thanks to Brian Boxing Gym, Tony Chavez out there in Waco, they gave us some good sparring, and he looked good. But came that week, he got hurt, and then that day that he sparred, I had to call it off. But I think if he's at 80%, like they say, I can't wait to see what 100% looks like.
We seen videos that he was sparring Clarkson. How'd that sparring go?
Well, it's they known each other for a long time, so it's like a chess game with them, you know. It's they already. I mean, they know their moves, I guess, you know. So it's like a little chess game. But
And it's pretty intense too.
we've called other guys out, and I don't know, they don't want to spar Listo for some odd reason, I don't know why.
Who are those guys?
Well, they know who,
Coach, I'm messing around. I'm just being.
they know who they are, they know who they are. It's I get all kinds of inside news, and like I said, Profe, he's proof. I show him the messages of people, they'll screenshot me and tell me, look, this person said this, but at the end of the day, they're just posting videos of fighting little guys that aren't even open or in their weight class, so so it's just they can keep that, I got Listo sparring and Figueroa Lopez up there in Huntsville, that man right there, he's he's calling out the big names, and he said that once this comes over, we'll get some more rounds in with him. I think he holds 2 or 3 titles, I believe, a light heavyweight. That he's a real humble person too, and I don't know who else we sparred. Well, he was supposed to go out of town with Benavides. I had talked to his dad. He was supposed to go out with to Benavides' camp, but because of this, they stopped everything. So I mean, having recognition from people like that, that's a big compliment too.
Yeah.
He sparred Benavides down here when Spence fought Mikey Garcia, right? Is that correct?
Yes, yeah, he sparred him. I think like 4 or 5 times.
Damn.
And they wanted him for his last fight. But we couldn't work out a deal with Listo's job or my job, and that went down. And then they called me again at the end of the year for this fight. He was supposed to be fighting in February as well, and this started, so we weren't able to go out there. But they wanted him for at least 4 weeks out there in I think Seattle, I believe.
How tough is it to balance a full-time job and do this?
Listo, I mean, he's managed to do it. I mean, people don't know that. I think Listo was working 2 jobs because he wanted to. He was working full-time job during the week and working weekends, like 30 hours on Saturday and Sunday.
Shit.
Just because he wanted to. I would tell him to stop, and he's like, no. So he was working 7 days a week for I don't know how many years, and still training and still whooping the shit out of people in the ring, giving you 100% in training, So all that's Listo. I told him that, it's going to get to a point where we're going to have to stop that. But he says that he'd rather work. There's times that I've told him after the weigh-ins, don't go in with work the next day. He's like, well, I'd rather go to work because I don't want to think about it. That's him. He wants to keep it off his mind. He's like, man, I'm just going to be thinking about it all day if I just sit here in bed and watch TV. He goes, I'd just rather go get it out of my mind and go work. If credit to the other guys, they want to sit around and do nothing, and wait for the opportunity to come to them. We're not doing that. We're hustling and we're working, and, we struggle to get where we're at, and they're still doing it. So, they got, I know what they got. Both my boys I know they got their focus on.
As a coach for amateurs, if I am a parent, why should I go with you? And why is amateur boxing important for young kids nowadays, or just in general?
Well, in general, to tell you the truth, without amateurs, I don't think there's no pros.
Mm-hmm.
We don't give a lot of credit to these amateurs. There's more amateur sparring Listo than there is pros. So thanks
and
to
tough
them
ones
that,
too.
Yeah,
and
there's
tough ones too.
Yeah, there's some tough ones out there. They got more balls than some of these pros do. They go out there and they get in there in the ring and they spar Listo. And I want to give them guys props. And You know, if it ain't for them Emmys, you know, we wouldn't have shit. You know, I've told Listo we need to put that on our shirts. You know, not only now it's not just nuestra gente, it's also thanks to the Emmys because these pros don't want to give you no recognition or you know they don't want to give you no publicity because that's the way it is. You know, once they get to the top, they don't want you to come up. They don't want you to shine like them or take some of their shine. You know, that's how I feel it is. You know, it's sad, but that's the way I look at it. You know, I help people out. I don't say their names or if they know I helped them, fine. If they thank me, fine. You know, if I don't have to receive nothing back, I just know that I did my part, and the man upstairs is the one that's gonna, you know, help me out.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you know, that's it. You know, but people are afraid to say, hey, come on, let's get on with me because they're afraid that you know they might take over the steering wheel. You know, so the people don't want to give you a ride. But I'm glad that we've done it on our own. You know, no middleman, no nothing. You know, just the team that we picked to be on our team. That's what we're sticking with, and we're happy about it. You know.
Why? What is something that you do? How do you get to balance the both sides as an amateur and pro? How do you get to balance that? As you know, okay, now I gotta train an amateur. Now I gotta train a pro.
Uh, the only difference is that the amateurs got to be a lot faster. You
Hmm.
know, the pros they tend to slow down. So sometimes like when Chuco spars, I see it a lot. When he's sparring amateurs, you know, he tends to slow down a lot. You know, it's more slow pace, you know. So you know, he don't warm up till maybe the end of the second round or, you know, third round or fourth round, you know. But, you know, he's getting in sparring. He's putting in rounds too. You know, I think he sparred like 10 or 11 rounds when we were last time we went to Waco también.
Hmm.
So, but I mean, it's crazy, you know, I take the pros and I take my amateurs and, you know, getting props from people, you know, that I got a good team feels good.
So before this, you posted that you got 5 shirts that you want to give away. What is one of the processes you want to do? Since we're almost probably like a few minutes, we would be wrapping up. What would you want to do people to win a shirt?
Okay, let's ask him a couple of questions. You ask him about a couple of questions about that you know about us. You know, okay. Why do we have the logo of Alacranes? You
That's a
know,
good question, right? What? And look at Chris. Chris wants to. Chris wants to answer. So I see that we have about a few people tuning in. I guess we can say we can scatter the questions around if they don't answer right now. They could probably message you or message us. So one of the first question I can type it up here so it can be on the on YouTube Live or Facebook. What is it? Why do we wear the alacranes logo? Right?
yeah.
Okay, give me 1 second. I will have that up here in a bit. What would be the second question? How would you like for them to reach you, Coach?
They can inbox me on Facebook, Alacranes Boxeo. I'm on Instagram now. You know, I'm opening so they can reach me there on Knuckles XV3, and now I'm on Twitter as well
Oh
as
man.
Yeah, I just saw that.
Knuckles XV3. So you know they can reach me up on there. They can reach Listo Gaitan, Chuco 18, you, Profe, any of you guys, Real Talk Boxing.
Hey, that's
You
it.
know?
We'll talk about it.
So the first question is, why do we wear the Alacranes logo? That's the first question. If people can't tune in right now, we'll give them a few minutes and we'll post this and we'll also let them know, hey, tune into the video, watch it, and at the end of the show we have questions. So what would be the second question, Coach? You said, why do we wear the Alacranes logo? That's one question to win a shirt. What would be the second question? So I can type it up on here.
You know, what's the best football team in NFL? You know,
The best
That's easy. The
NFL
Dallas
team.
Cowboys. He thinks
you
There's a
lost.
second. There's
Now,
a second question.
who's the Team Alacranes' favorite football team?
Who's the best NFL team? And I'm gonna put slash slash
Put
Coach
put
Knuckles?
besides the Cowboys.
Who's the best NFL team slash Coach Knuckles' favorite? There we go.
What's
That's
Listo's boxing pro record? What's his bro?
okay. That's that. Okay, so I got the first question is
Let's
why do we
do.
wear
We're gonna. I said I
alacranes?
wanted to do 5.
Yeah. Who? Why do we wear the alacranes logo? Who is the best NFL team slash Coach Knuckles' favorite? What is Listo's? What is
Pro record.
Listo's pro record? Okay, that is the next one. That's the third question. Who is Listo's? Well, what is Listo's pro record? That's the third one.
What's the
Let's
name of the
do.
gym we train at?
No, how about what's the address of the gym you train at?
What is the gym we train at? And I'll put
We
quote
got plenty of
unquote
shows there. Should
Listo.
know if they've been watching our show, they should know already.
What?
Yeah.
What was that? How many questions is that? 3?
That's four. That's four.
That's 4.
So, what is the gym that we train at? Parentheses Team Gaitan, right? I'll put that. And then the last question: what do you want it to be?
Was Hector Vasquez's nickname boxing
What
or boxing
is
name?
Hector Vasquez?
I know one
Nick.
person. He has
All
a
right.
favorite fan out there.
Okay, so I already got it. What is Hector Vasquez's nickname? So those are the 5 questions. So
Say
since
them all
we're
one
about
more
to
time,
start,
Jay.
yeah, I will say them here again. The first one is why do we have the Alacranes logo? The second one is how many pro debuts have what's the pro record of Listo Gaitan? What is Coach Knuckles' favorite NFL team? What gym do we train at? And the most recent one, what is Hector Vasquez's nickname? So those are the 5 questions. If you have those 5 questions, I think I have. Oh, somebody said Dallas Cowboys, so they're automatically
Go ahead and
out.
add one of your questions on there, and we'll make it 6 shirts.
I'll add another question. This is the question I'm gonna add because just because I like this one, but because Chris.
Okay, people that are watching, if he fucks up this question, I'm not sending nobody there.
what is the address of Sweat Boxing Gym? There we go. I'm gonna add that right there right now. So that's gonna be one more question. Let's see if people can get it. So those are actually 5 questions that we have that people that can win. What is the address of Sweat Boxing Gym? And Chris, you cannot say it because I know you know it by heart.
I do.
Well, I don't know if you have any more questions, Robert or
No,
Chris.
that's it. I'll just make one statement, man. I've seen I think Listo's so big. Like I've seen y'all. I seen the first fight I went to Listo when he fought for the 2.0, whatever the fuck it was. I remember how seeing he gets so much better since then. You could tell that first fight he was really nervous, and to get better as every fight wins. And even like when you go to their fights, all the search y'all have out there, how many people come to see Listo is so fucking crazy compared to other places. Like it's just so. Even the sponsorship y'all got from day one from people, just like that's why I think y'all stand out so much better than everybody else. So.
Yeah, it's they to hear them chant their name, like his name, Listo, that feels good, that people know the name, and people stop us and ask us. We get that a lot, they ask us about the logo, what does that mean, and it feels good that logo gets people's attention, So like I said, it feels good to have Grand Prairie. We're from Grand Prairie. We lived in I've lived in Grand Prairie since I came from Cali. So just the love that we have from Grand Prairie, and that's why I say Grand Prairie Zone too. We've never said we're from Dallas or Fort Worth or nothing.
Yeah.
We're from Grand Prairie Zone. This is where we started training out of the garage, and and we've kept it. We've kept Grand Prairie, and just like we do our logo, we show the love just like they love us. We're always here at local businesses showing their love, support, and we appreciate it.
Yeah, that's great, man.
I just want to add, Coach Knuckles, thank you for being on with us. We're looking forward to seeing this future of Listo and yourself and your other son and what's going on. Hopefully everything goes good with y'all. Thanks for coming on. And another thing too is Listo. He has a big following, and whatever you're doing at home, keeping him grounded, keeping his mind leveled, you're doing great, man. So keep it up the work, man. Your whole team wish you nothing but success going forward, coach. And we'll talk soon and see you soon.
No, I appreciate the opportunity to be on your show once again. I mean, thanks for the love you guys. Real Talk Boxing is showing us. It feels good. Every time I'm on here, y'all let me talk. I'm a real polite guy. I don't cuss a lot, but fuck it,
Talk
you
that
know.
shit. You fine.
And I appreciate it. And like I said, I like to keep it real. And God bless you guys. And hopefully, we'll be on the show again with
Yeah,
maybe a title. Who knows?
yeah, for sure.
Coach, I'm very grateful with you, and I don't have to tell you that because I expressed it to you when I talked to you throughout the week. But I thank you again. Thank you to your family. Thank you to Listo, and I appreciate you being on. And we're gonna go ahead and post this again and have everybody look at the 6 questions, and hopefully, people reach out to you or us. And again, Coach, I don't get tired of saying it, but thank you, and so much knowledge I get from you in the gym, and so much. And I will say this, and I'm gonna end this with a bang. The singer that came out with Jesse Vargas and Mikey Garcia doing the Mexico national anthem that had viewership on the Zone app that is viewed worldwide. That happened because of Coach Knuckles. That didn't happen because they found him at the Pulga or anywhere the players really went. That happened. That happened because Coach Knuckles saw him at a restaurant, if I'm not
No,
mistaken.
I know.
He
I
brought
know
him.
his dad. I know his dad.
Yeah,
I've known his
but
dad for years.
so
And
he's known him, and he's
yeah,
he's he's let him walk out on the ring with Listo, and he started off like that, and look where's he at now. And he also, if I'm not mistaken, he has his own CD, coming out
yeah,
his
he
own.
signed with Azteca record label. So yeah, he's moving
So
up. It's the people that have gone on our show. Like I said, I'm not going to mention no names. They've done something. So it feels good. That they've done something. They got the opportunity. They shined, and they've moved up. That's
Yeah,
what it's about. You know what I'm saying? If me, I don't care. They don't want to thank me that, but I ain't in the middle. I gave their name, and they did what they did. They put on their show, and they moved forward, and you know, great for them. I like it. I love seeing that. But not
yeah.
everybody's like me.
yeah,
And there's no one, and I will say that there's no inch of you of bitterness or envy or jealousy towards other. I do say, even though the way sometimes we chat and we make fun of each other, you do watch out for everybody, and if you take care of Coach Knuckles, he will take care of you towards the end. So once again, Coach, I appreciate it, and I hope you have a great night. I hope to see you soon. Okay.
Okay, guys, you take care. Like I said,
I
God
appreciate
bless
it.
you. Thanks for the opportunity, and I love the show, man.
Yeah,
I
God bless
watch
you
it
too,
every
man.
chance I get.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it. Have a good night.
You too.
Well, that was Coach Knuckles with us. A great interview. And we'll go ahead and wrap it up here. We had a lot of viewership on Facebook, a lot. So we're going to continue making it on live on Facebook because
Well, I agree.
it's skyrocketed.
Hey Jay,
It's
do a roll
skyrocketed.
call, Jay, on that chat.
Yes.
This is
To everybody that tuned in, Bianca, your sister, Francisco,
already.
Jessica, Felix, Francisco once again, and Michelle Taylor, Laura, I think that's your mom, Robert Reyes, Rita Rangel,
Mhm,
Delma Reyes,
mhm.
Mike Livingston. I don't know, couldn't understand what he was saying. Noe G, shout out to Noe G,
No,
one of the
hey,
realists out there. Jose Mendoza, nasty one for you. Please change that name. Please change that name, please. Milo Laura, and that was it. I'm sure there's more people that liked it that I was trying to check it, but I couldn't. But everybody that liked it on Facebook and that shared it and that tuned in and chatted, we appreciated it. And I hope everybody has a good night.
Yeah.
already. And we are Real Talk Boston. That's real talk for real boxing fans.